and Finnegan Show, episode number 60. A monumental episode. It's a round number. Has an O on the end. Let's just get to it. Mike, would you believe, when we started this show, that at episode number 60, we would potentially not have one, but two chargers amongst us? Would you believe that to be true?
No, I would not. Well,
Okay.
yes. Hold on. Let me qualify that statement. I believe the possibility to own chargers existed. I did not believe the possibility for one of them to be a generally clone existed.
And true. And we have revealed to the public that this has happened. We have a generally clone.
Yes.
But generalies are like Duke boys. They have cousins. And in fact, sometimes they're long lost cousins, but they have them.
Some are hotter than others.
Yes, that's right. Sometimes they're just other chargers. Would you believe, Mike, that in Minnesota, just 4 short hours north of me, is another charger that maybe you bought? Would you? And hopefully you do, because you did.
You know what I really appreciate about you right now is that you're like, it's only in Minnesota. It's only 4 hours away. Yeah, I'll go pick up that charger you just bought off eBay, Mike. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, for those of you at home, your car, your office, wherever you're at listening, I did just buy a 68 charger off eBay, and Kibbe's going to go get it for me. That guy has blown up my phone ever since we struck the deal. He's excited. He doesn't care when you come to get it. He just wants to make sure he's present when it happens. He wants to be there when you're there.
For people, this is not a bit. It's not a joke. This isn't a quickie pull. This is real.
No,
I bought a charger.
Well, it's better than that. I bought the world's worst charger. I mean, there is not a single body panel on this car that is straight. And yet, there is no charger as beautiful as this one to me.
If I had done a little more homework, I would have gone back and found a clip where you, years or days ago, revealed, my dream as Mike Finnegan is to have this charger that I could off-road, which would be totally rad. And then we'd come back to the future here. And that is exactly what you got. You got a car with race history, right? I mean, this thing was a dirt track charger. And Brent Fallon is the guy who gets the credit. He sent it to me Friday morning. I texted it to you, and it was on.
See, and I was going to give you the credit because
it's not mine. It's not me.
I should not be buying automobiles right now. In fact, I'm selling automobiles right now. And yet, when you texted me the link to eBay to this charger, I was like, oh, hell. All right, let me go look at it. And as soon as I saw the first photo, I went, oh, I need this car. I made my face.
Brent Fallon sent it, and he's a listener. I don't know Brent. I'll read you.
I'll never make that noise again, by the way.
That'd be great if you did. Here's the link he sent. Thought you and Finnegan might want this one. Fingers crossed. Brent Fallon. There you go.
Dude, so here's what we're talking about. We're not even doing a good job of describing this
No, we're
car.
not.
This is a 1968 Dodge Charger that a nice gentleman named Jason has recently purchased because he saw in this car what I see in this car. He bought it. I don't know if it was from the original owner or the second owner, but the story I'm getting is the original owner in the late 70s or early 80s took his Dodge Charger and went dirt track racing. Put in the old school cage, door bars, cut, the front inner fender structures out, shock extensions. It has a late 40s, early 50s, I think Dodge truck banjo style rear end with 8-lug axles. So and awesome. I don't know how he did it, but it has 8-lug front hubs as well. So there are 8-lug dirt track wheels on this car, and they're white and they're beautiful. And then it has this paint job that's just amazingly shitty, and yet still awesome. Like, it's blue over, I think, factory red, and it's peeling, and there's Bondo, and it's all flaking off everywhere, and every fender is crushed or dented or rolled or whatever. And out of the scoop in the door is this white, not stripe, but like white. It looks like stuff shooting down the side of the car out of the scoop in the door. And it's a vinyl top car. The vinyl top's coming off, and it's just a crappy dirt track car, and it's the exact right car for me because I want to go drive around in the dirt. And I happen to have a 383 and a 727 and a fresh K member sitting here that I bought a couple years ago for just this purpose.
Someday you knew I will need this.
Dude, and the car says 383 on the hood.
It does. That's the best part about when you look in the interior of that car. I have a model of a dirt track Charger. That's what the interior looked like. It's got the steel dash with the round gauges in. The down bar, the one that's going to be right above your head, goes all the way down to the right toe board on the passenger side. It's all there. You got a Charger race car.
Dude, and it's already got a name. The whoever owned it before, his name was Joe Barry. It's right on the door.
Yeah.
Leaving it. That's the Joe Barry.
Are there numbers on it?
Wow. Hold on. Let me tell you. I forget. Let me pull up the photos that are just sitting right here. Here's what it says. Here's some of the stuff that's painted on it. It was sponsored by R&R Print of Arcadia, Indiana. Excellent. That's on 1/4 panel. And then let's see here. Let's go to the side of the car. No numbers on the side. Let's check the roof and the hood here. I love the hood because in the two hood scoops coming out is more white on blue, and it says 383 CI on it. It's got like a mesh homemade grill. I mean, it's just, there's wing nuts holding the trunk lid on. It's just, the fender's been flared with what looks like a baseball bat. I mean, this thing is just
the tires, if I recall, they stick out good inch past the lips of the fenders.
Yeah, it's got Hoosier dirt track tires. I have no idea who made the wheels, but this car just looks so pissed off, and it's perfect. I'll never paint it.
If you want, can I give you your first present for it? And feel free to decline if you don't want it. But
okay.
The push bar on the General Lee I got here, I'm going to replace with a more screen accurate one because it's wide, and it would kind of tuck in there super nice, and kind of by birthright, most Chargers need one of these things, and dirt track Chargers ran them. So would you like it?
Oh, they did? Okay. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. They ran them. And
don't mail it. Come visit.
Well, I'll just bring mine there. So
oh yeah, how are we gonna?
I don't know yet.
How are we gonna do this? Because you were already gonna come down to Georgia and visit me with your car, because we were gonna work on it and film some episodes of Finnegan's Garage, my YouTube show. But now
there's a way.
You're even cooler because you're gonna go up north 4 hours to grab my Charger, and then you were gonna meet me halfway with my Charger. Do you think your truck would pull a 2-car hauler? I think it would.
It would. It would. I do have a master plan brewing.
Okay.
And I just don't have it finalized yet. And I was going to talk to you about this later, but I'll just try to figure it out now. There might be a reason that the General Lee has to go to Minnesota, like a real reason, for a few days. And it would kind of be on my way to take it up there, drop it off, go pick up your Charger, come back here, and maybe meet you somewhere halfway between here and Atlanta.
Perfect.
And then I'm just driving back only halfway, with a dead trailer anyway. And then later I will come down with the General Lee Charger, and then there'll be 2 Chargers at your place. And between them, we will make serious magic.
Let's go party in Memphis.
Okay. Is that halfway?
Yeah, well, I think so. I don't know. I think it's like 6 hours from me or something. Let's meet in Memphis and have listeners show up and drink beer and toast the new car.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Once people see this car, they're never going to let it go. I mean, this is going to be... People will start making models out of this car. There will be T-shirts.
It is so crappy. It's right up my alley. I love this car.
You know what would best celebrate the wonderful news of this wonderful car? You don't know?
Beer?
Well, that... Granted.
Oh.
Underwear, Mike.
A fresh pair of chonies?
Something else monumental has happened today, because we have, for the first time ever, not 1, but 2 real, legitimate advertisers that only usually do like radio stuff. And it's totally legit.
Bernie, you're going to get paid this time, I swear.
We keep telling them that. MeUndies, that's the sponsor this week. Okay. And I am here to tell you, Mike, that MeUndies has changed my life, and I am wearing them right now. I'm wearing the pair that I got. And they usually give us these copy points to go through, but I'm just going from the heart right here. So
okay. You go ahead, brother. Lay it on me.
And it even works out with a 20% off deal for our listeners. But so you go to MeUndies, and first of all, they have men's and women's offering. And their whole goal here is to give you underwear that feels like you're naked. And they mean it. I don't know what's in this fabric, but it is the softest, thinnest fabric that I've ever put on. And they usually say, if you would like some sample products, we're happy to send them to you. And I always say yes, because it's always fun to get more. I got something that I would never normally buy, because normally I hate them. I got their men's boxer brief. And I never wear boxer brief. I'm a boxer man. What are you? Are you a boxer man?
Yeah. If I'm not commando, I'm in boxers. Boxer briefs, that's dicey. That's dicey territory.
It is. They ride up. There's too much adjusting. There's too much constrictiveness. Doesn't jive with my jeans. Don't like it. But the MeUndies ones, they're thin, and there's no adjusting, because they have this magical pouch, Mike. And I don't know how else to say it. But I didn't know they could do this in engineering in a pouch for your jewels, but it's there. It's like a push-up bra for your balls. That's what it's like.
Didn't know mine needed them, but okay.
I'm telling you, I didn't know I needed it, but now I don't know how I can go without it.
Oh my goodness.
You put them on, everything goes in just the right spot. You get this freedom. It's like a source of justice, if you will, for the Kibbe fleet. I mean, it is fantastic. That's what I got. And I assume you didn't get yours yet, because they send me this little notice when they ship stuff, but that's what I got. And I am very pleased that MeUndies is here.
No, I don't have mine, but my youngest son suckered me into signing up for jiu-jitsu. And after a couple of classes, I think, that kind of support might be something I need when I'm rolling around on the floor with another dude trying to kick my...
It is amazing. It is truly... I didn't know they could do this. I'm not going to wear anything else ever again.
All right, well, here's the other thing you guys need to know. Rob, I'm sold. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And if you guys are sold, right now, MeUndies has an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You get 20% off your first pair and free shipping. And MeUndies is so sure you'll love their underwear, they'll even offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You order a pair. If you don't love the first pair, get a full refund. No brainer. 20% off, free shipping, 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for, man?
You know what they call that thing? It's called the diamond seamed pouch. I looked it up.
Okay. So you guys get your 20% off, your free shipping, satisfaction guarantee. Here's what you got to do. Go to meundies.com/KAFS. That's meundies.com/KAFS.
It's magical stuff. I'm not joking. I can't wait for you to get your... What'd you get? Did you get boxers, or did you get boxer?
I ordered boxers, man.
Okay, so you're going for an apples to apples comparison of what you normally get with the new stuff. Okay.
Yeah, because my normal stuff, I'm happy with it. But if we can improve upon it, I'm game.
If you're just listening to the show now, you can get this show in iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play, all sorts of places on the Finnegan's Garage channel.
And if you're just joining us, you guys should know Rob's got new underwear with a diamond pouch. So
that's where we are today. New undies and a new charger. Oh, speaking of chargers.
I got a new charger. You got new underwear. What a hell of a day.
They're both about the same price. I'm kidding. The high value of MeUndies can't be beat. Have you seen the advertisement for the John Schneider event, the Bose Extravaganza? Oh, and can you go to this event?
All I know of it is you told me about it once, and at the time I could go. What's the date? April
7th and 8th. And I have I have the flyer up for it. It looks really cool. So I'm going to read it to you.
Where's it at?
It's in New Orleans. It's at John Schneider Studios, in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, basically.
Okay.
He has a studio there. But here are the guests that will be there. Kix Brooks, like Brooks and Dunn. He's going to be there to do a concert Friday night. Paul Overstreet, Joel Sonier, Tom Bresh, Merle Travis, Center Pickers, the Copper Chiefs, and many more. Those are all the musical performers. Obviously, Kix Brooks is the one I know. Carl Edwards, the NASCAR driver, will be there to chase Bo Duke while Bo Duke drives a General Lee. The Dukes of Hazzard cast will be there. They will do 2 car jumps. And Uncle Si will be there from, what's that duck show? Duck Killers?
Duck Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty. Yeah, Uncle Si will be there.
Nice pull, Mike.
I mean, it's, yeah. Nice pull, Mike.
I don't have cable, so I've never seen it.
Yeah, good job. No, it's a pretty packed event. So, what I don't know is how to buy tickets for it. Like, I have no idea how to buy. I think you just comment like on Facebook about it. And I thought I saw something about Eventbrite going out, but
I think that's because the link just goes directly to his ex-wife's bank account.
Oh, well, that might do it right there. Anyway, it looks pretty sweet. Looks pretty sweet. I caught it. I just kept going.
You're like, he's never going to be on this show again now. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Bernie, you just go ahead and edit that right out. We'd love to have John here. And we will not talk about whatever that thing is that I was talking about.
He might talk about it. I'm sure it's on his mind.
Oh, maybe he wants to clear the air.
Yeah, this is a great place to do that.
Ooh, we could get him and Wopat on here to just have a clearing the air episode.
Now we have failed. Yeah, that's how we go in the can right there. What else is going on in the world here? Did you watch the Daytona 500? This is the only race of the year I actually pay attention to, so I did watch it.
I did not.
Do you want to know who won? Or do you know who won?
I think I know. Austin Dillon won, driving the number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
read about it.
He either hit the guy ahead of him or he got a run or whatever.
He spun somebody out last lap to win the race. He hadn't led the entire race, so I am sure there's controversy surrounding that deal.
What was interesting in this race is the number 3 finished in first place 20 years after Dale Earnhardt won it in 1998.
It was meant to be.
The number 43 finished in second place, the Richard Petty car. And Bubba Wallace is the guy that's driving that now. He's going to be good. Like, A, he's cool. B, he's a drummer. And C, he's an awesome race car driver. So I have suddenly kind of, I don't know, as of this day, kind of become more interested in NASCAR again. I used to follow it maybe 15 years ago. I kind of knew what was going on. I maybe didn't watch every race, but I'm kind of interested in this kind of thing.
That's a pretty heavy man crush you got going on there. All right.
Bubba's cool.
All right. Take your word for it. Don't know.
So what else is going on in your life here? Is there anything else you need to tell me about?
I need more time. Still need to figure out that whole cloning machine. I'm staring at a ramp truck that halfway has a Cummins engine swapped into it. I just cleaned my garage out, which was huge because I was getting overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And my friend Bo Shears was over here, and we were going to start working on an engine together, and we realized once he brought the engine parts here, I just couldn't breathe. There was no room for anything or anywhere to do any work. So we cleaned out the garage, and it was one of those freeing moments where I was just giving stuff away to my friends just for the sake of getting it out of my garage. Like the Pontiac 350, the original engine from the Firebird that we used on Roadkill that I'd bought, mm-hmm. and the 400 that we blew up. I gave that pretty much away for $200 to Bo Shears' uncle. I was like, just please get it out of here. I'm tripping over it. And I want it out of my life. And so it was one of those days. It was like, I don't care if I'm losing my ass. I just want to see the floor again.
Because how many cars do you keep at home versus how many like are stored?
Well, there's like 3 in the driveway right now. And then there's 1, 2, 3 in the garage plus the drag boat, and
3 in the garage.
and then there's I don't know how many over at my other friend's house. There's too many. I got a problem.
You do. Did you sell that Dodge truck?
No, I put it up for sale or trade, and a lot of weird trades came my way, and nothing that really prompted me to go, yeah, I'm going to trade you guys, because really, I can't have another thing in my life. There's too many things already, so I should just sell it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a short video and put it up on Instagram probably tomorrow or something, and that ought to do it. I'll either get 300 people just come into my house to hang out, or it'll sell, one or the other.
Oh, I got a listener question for you, and I if I remembered to dig it up, I would have. But they basically wanted to know from you through Burning Bernie why you use hashtags in Instagram.
Oh, it just makes me laugh. Pretty much that's it. It just makes me laugh when I do.
Are there any? Because I've read most of your hashtags and they make me laugh. But I've always wondered, is this a trending hashtag?
No, I just
Eliza Dushku made me laugh. What the hell does that mean?
I make most of them up. I don't ever search for what's trending. What I will do though is I almost always will tag a fairly beautiful woman in there, and a lot of times she'll either vaguely relate to the photo or what I'm writing about, or she'll just happen to be in the news. And my hope is that one day one of these beautiful women just is like, yeah, I see you. And I'm going to be like, high five, Mike, high five. You did it. It's not happened. I don't know how many years I've been on Instagram. Not a single hot chick has ever come in there and went, hey, cars. Dude, this is cool.
I would like to talk to you further.
Keep hope alive, though.
I think there are some legit reasons to use hashtags. I know that a lot of companies spend a lot of money figuring out what to put in there, but yours are a little more random.
Oh yeah, there's a legitimate reason to hashtag stuff. If you want more people to find it, you hashtag it. Mine just have nothing to do with that at all. I wrote one once where it was like what was it? It was basically things that sucked, and so I jokingly wrote like mini trucks, light beer, salads, and I don't think mini trucks suck. I love them, and God knows light beer is a necessary evil, because if we drank the lighted stuff every day, I'd look like Jabba the Hutt. So in jest, I wrote it, and then it was great because people just flipped out. You know who hates mini trucks, or rather mini truckers?
No,
Jesse James.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm trying to remember when it happened, but he wrote something on Instagram and commented about how SEMA was lame and he never went because it had become overrun with quote unquote dip mini truckers. And the next thing you know, the hashtag dip mini trucker became trending, a thing amongst the mini trucking community, which is a small community, by the way. And a t-shirt got made, and then now it's this thing now where whenever any one of us talks about mini trucks, it's always dip mini trucker.
Dip mini trucker. Now you got me swearing. Somebody in the comments would like to know if I'm a Republican or a Christian. Not sure how to reply.
You can't be both?
You can be, but I'm the Christian part's yes.
I don't know how it works, but
yeah, I'll leave
immediately wonder
on the other part. Leave me wondering on the other part. Here's what's going on in my life right now.
Yeah, tell me.
This has truly been maybe the hardest month I've had in years. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm working on that's kind of coming to a boil. Number one, this generally came out of nowhere, and I'm so happy for it. And starting to get planned for just the most fun of things. There's a guy who's going to do the body work on it. He listens to the show. Nathan Warren. He's not a
wait a minute. Body work? What body work? You're painting the car?
No, yeah, I'm going to paint it blue. No, I'm kidding. There's a few little tweaks, really little tweaks that it kind of needs. Need to black out under the hood, and this is all to make it like a TV car. This has nothing to do with the fact that it's not great already. It's a generally, but if we want to make it look like the season 3 hero car, and that's my goal, you got to black out under the hood, and that's not a Mopar thing. That's just something they did to clean it up. It's a 69, but it has a 68 rear valence, so I want to, put backup lights on it. It's missing a lot of trim. Like, it's missing the vinyl top. It wasn't a vinyl top car new, so it didn't have vinyl top trim on it. It's missing the trim around the taillight panel. It has, like, that door edge guard around the taillights itself, so it doesn't actually have bezels around it. There's just lots of little knick-knacky things to do. And then, as far as the graphics are fine, other than the words General Lee. I got to swap those out for TV style. It has movie style on it.
Okay.
And when you see them side by side, they are quite different. But the flag and the numbers, I think they are from the movie era, but they're so close to season 3 anyway. Screw it. We'll just keep those on there. And then the other thing I want to do is put on wheel lip molding. And all of this is, again, minor stuff. I mean, I don't love body work. I have done it, but I'm so scared about it, doing it on a painted car, especially. I don't mind practicing on junk. Right. But actually, Nathan had written about it, and I thought, I wonder, would you be interested in helping with this car? And he's, yeah, totally. I really want to help. So we got that kind of squared away. And
thanks, Nathan.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to talking to him, and we'll try to feature him here somehow. But this car, because I'm getting to know this car, and it doesn't have a fender tag with the options on it. It has a VIN, but no fender tag. There's little holes I can see in the front fenders from where it had wheel lip molding, which is perfect because that's what the TV Hero car had. So I want to stick all that in there. So trying to get all this coordinated, plus, a few little speed parts here and there to just kind of freshen it up, but make it very retro to the 1982 version of itself. That's one thing. Our construction business is going through a really interesting time. There's a big project that we've just had to devote a lot of time to, and that's good. But also, there's this product I've been developing with some buddies. I've told you about this. It's a baseball tee, but we're taking it to Kickstarter next week, and it's just like crunch time because there's all the final manufacturing details to just make sure totally handled. Because, dude, you go to Kickstarter, you'd better be ready to deliver on everything.
Yeah, don't be one of those guys that starts a Kickstarter campaign, gets the money, and then has nothing to show for it.
It has been
you definitely
a treat. I think we're good to go. I'm positive we're good to go. Now we just got to figure out if people want to buy it. But it's called the Magic Tee. It's an upside down baseball tee, and the other dudes I'm doing this with, they're all ball players. They love baseball. I grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard. I know I'm not much of an athlete, but it's one of the few times I actually got to engineer something that I could see in my head, like, here's exactly how it has to work. And it's not very complicated, which is good for me. But it's just been exhausting. Like, I genuinely look forward to going to bed at night, just because I can't wait for the day to end.
It's exciting, though, because very few people get to invent something or engineer something. And if you can bring something from your brain into something you can hold in the palm of your hand and sell that widget and earn a living, dude, that is killer.
It'll be really neat. It'll be the first time my name might be in a patent, and there'll be 3 of us. We'll all sign it. I mean, we won't own it, but the business that we will form will own it. But it's been really, really fun. I don't know that I would do it again. I don't know that I would do it if I knew what we were in for, if I could go back in time. But it's been really, really rewarding. Luckily, this show is such a cakewalk. I don't have to do any prep at all. We can just mail this one in every time. It's always good.
It feels like that's how we roll. I feel like I'm trying, though. It just doesn't come through on tape.
I watched trying.
I watched the Dukes of Hazzard yesterday. Not just like 10 minutes before the show recorded like I normally do.
Oh, good. Yes. I'm halfway through. If you can...
Again?
I'm telling you, it's not...
You are busy.
It's been a killer. This is my favorite TV show of all time. Here's what we should do.
What's crazy is you're not even watching them really before we do this, and you still remember them. That's impressive. I have to watch them because I don't remember them.
Oh, there's good stuff in it. Here's what we should do. We should go to our second fantastic advertiser, which, just like MeUndies, is a brand new one to our show. And then we should get to our Dukes of Hazzard review.
Cool.
Alrighty, so here is good news. We have our second big-time sponsor of the show, Audible, an Amazon company and they are on to give a great deal to our listeners on audiobooks. And I listen to audiobooks. I learned at some point in my life, and I wish I'd learned this at school, that I learned by being... I learn by listening. I don't necessarily learn by reading. I have to hear it or I have to see it, but just reading it, it doesn't really work for me. I don't know. That's probably not you. You're a very well-read guy.
Yeah, but I have the same problem you do. Is I'll read books constantly when I'm on airplanes. The next day, I probably won't remember half of what I read. I still enjoy reading them. I don't retain the stuff, and so hearing it helps a lot. And I do listen to audiobooks often.
Yep, and that's what Audible is there to provide. So Audible carries titles in business, classics, fiction, history, romance, mystery, thriller, you name it. It's all over the place. And if you would like to get a free audiobook, you can. You can get a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audible.com/KAFS, and that will get you 30 days off. It's easy. Audible.com/KAFS, and it's pretty simple. They also have a text message. You can text. You text this number 500-500, and you use the words KAFS. 500-500/KAFS. And here's the first book that I got on Audible, and I got this coming back from Cooter's Last Stand. In fact, last year, I got the book Ready Player One.
I was just going to suggest that book.
It's so awesome. The movie's coming out here in a month, I think.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the trailer.
Just like most books, the book is so good. It's very hard to make a movie that's as good. But the best thing about the book was it was read by Will Wheaton, Wesley Crusher from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
So he had you.
I was geeked out about it. But that's the one that I like. In fact, I think I've texted that very one to a couple people. I texted you one. I texted Dan Kahn one. Like, oh my gosh, it's all 80s trivia, and it's like Steve Jobs in the future gives away his fortune and stuff. But yeah, so just go to audible.com/KAFS, and you can browse their selection, download a free title, start listening. It's that easy. In fact, that's how I got my start for Ready Player One. I was listening to another podcast called No Dumb Questions by another YouTuber. What is his name? Smarter Every Day. That's the name of the YouTube channel. It's all about like rocket science and stuff like that, but it's told in a very understandable way. I really like it. Okay, man. So I have gotten halfway through this next episode of the Dukes of Hazzard. I have not completed it, but I was getting trivia as I went. So here we go. Season 3, Episode 18, The Return of Huey Hogg. Written by this dream team, William Rayner and Miles Wilder, directed by Hollingsworth Morse again. Original air date, March 6, 1981. Now here's why they're the dream team. Let me lay on you the episodes these people wrote yet this season.
Break it down.
Carnival of Thrills.
Yeah.
A classic. Uncle Boss, which was our introduction to Huey Hogg as a bad guy, I guess. Ba Ba Black Sheep, which was Boss's good twin brother.
Good one.
We never heard of before and never will again. The Legacy, Uncle Jesse's Old Flame. But most importantly, they wrote this all-important, life-changing, man-defining episode called Duke versus Duke, where Bo has to race Luke, and they have to figure out who's the better man based on who can drive better.
Yeah.
So
many life lessons.
There are. So have you have completed this episode? I would love to hear your 30-second review. Or 5 minutes, whatever you got. Stalling would help.
Indeed, I have. I'll stall for you. I got you.
Appreciate that.
All right, here we go. The nerve of that low-down, no-class, snake-in-the-grass Huey Hogg. Slithering his way back into the cozy confines of Hazzard, he nearly causes Daisy to be thrown from her stallion while she's out riding bareback. Well, that wasn't bareback, but I just wanted to throw that in there.
I was taking a peek at my phone there real quick. Like, what the heck did he say?
Anyway, were it not for her noble cousins, Bo and Luke, this episode might have had a more dangerous beginning. And if I remember correctly, Huey left town in disgrace the last time he was here. And now he's back to attempt, or at least seemingly attempt, to win Boss over again by trying to get the Dukes thrown in jail, run out of town, or both. Because that's what Boss wants. That's all he ever wants. The Duke's gone. Huey's plan centers around a new, used fire truck he gives to Hazzard, which gives him an excuse to sucker the Dukes into becoming part of the Hazzard Volunteer Fire Brigade. While out on call one day, he breaks into the Duke house, plants a couple of bottles of moonshine, and then sends Roscoe over to arrest the boys. Cue the requisite chasing, ending in a big old General Lee gap jump and a Roscoe and Cletus crash, which was good. So the boys escape right about the time Boss Hogg gets a coincidental visit from the IRS. And it seems Boss has only paid $87 in taxes over the last 7 years.
Whoa.
And the auditor plans to review the Hazzard County real estate records at 9 a.m. the next morning to see how much property Boss holds in his name and if any of it is valued more than 87 simoleons, then he's going to the federal pen.
He's screwed. He's
dun,
never
dun,
gonna
dun.
get out of this one.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, Huey has a way for Boss to avoid jail by putting all of his stuff into Huey's name. Reportedly, until after the IRS clears Boss, of the audit. So of course something smells fishy and it ain't dinner. Not only does Huey intend to bag the Dukes, but also snooker his uncle at the same time. And how bad do things get? Once Boss signs over his money, his land, basically the whole town, Huey renames Hazzard to Hueytown.
That
which is
dirtbag.
Not Funky Town. Not cool. Soon enough, Boss figures out he's been duped and is so desperate to reclaim what he rightfully cheated, connived, and stole in the first place that he turns to his mortal enemy, Jesse Duke, to right the wrong.
They always do. You always go for the good guy.
I know, weird, right? Mm-hmm. And an even stranger turn of events, the Dukes team up with the entire Hazzard police force, Roscoe and Cletus, to break into Huey's new office. Because Huey had replaced Boss's men with his hired guns. He couldn't have crooked people.
Oh, yeah. As I recall,
he'd have his crooked people.
He always uses the same henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time he's on, he always has the same bad guys. I thought that was a nice touch.
Crappy, convertible VW that looks a lot like Boss's Cadillac, but not. Yeah. So it gets cooler, in a daring heist involving a chainsaw and a crane. The Duke boys steal Huey's safe, and inside of it, the paperwork proving he owns everything Boss Hogg used to own. So a chase ensues with Boss riding in the bed of Cooter's truck, and he breaks into the safe. Meanwhile, the Duke boys keep the bad guys off of Boss's tail long enough for him to find the paper, and every cop car in Hazzard gets destroyed, and the town changed hands one more time. All in the span of 3 minutes. Tire smoke and dust. It's amazing.
How many cop cars are we talking here?
Well, both.
They're just the two?
Yeah, they're both dead. All of them. And immediately afterwards, Dirtbag Huey and his henchmen are sent packing, and the Dukes and the Hogs are once again on opposite sides of the fence, and they all lived happily ever after.
Nice work.
Thank you.
How many corn dogs would you give this episode?
This was pretty good. I'd give this 7.
Give this a solid 7? Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. So here, I am exactly halfway through. I had to stop at the point where Boss showed up at his office only to find Huey had redecorated it in 80s plexiglass flair. Even the cover over the piano keyboard was plexiglass for some reason. It was
some Don Johnson Miami Vice stuff happening there.
Very weird. So here, I got some tidbits for you.
All right.
You're going to blow your mind. Actress Frances Bay played the role of Aunt Hortense, which is...
Recognized her.
Yeah. She's a tiny little old lady. She started her acting career at the age of 59. And she started it in 1978. She worked
There's hope for us.
Yeah, she worked until her death in 2011. She's famous for a lot of roles. But do you know the movie that really put her on the map?
Was it Psycho?
I'm going to play for you a clip. You tell me if you can figure this out here. Hopefully it wasn't Psycho, because I didn't pull that clip. Here we go.
Sir, could I trouble you for a glass of warm milk? It helps put me to sleep.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
I knew I recognized her. I just couldn't remember from where, dude. She was in Happy Gilmore. She was Happy's aunt or grandma or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Happy. Oh, that's a movie we got to review it. So.
Oh, good idea.
The price is wrong. Oh, good. Yes. So she worked till her death in 2011. Also in this episode, a lighting technician that was uncredited. His name, James Kibbe.
Really?
Yes.
Spelled the same?
Spelled the same.
Related?
I don't know. But
gotta be. I never even heard of another Kibbe.
There aren't a lot of Kibbes. And usually when you do meet them, I get all their mail. Kibbie, Kibby. Once my sister and I were both drummers, and we got drumsticks that had our names on them, like monogrammed on there. And hers said Ape Kiblef. April.
Kibbles and bits.
No.
Bits.
Okay, and then I do have some corn dog notes here, but there are a couple more that I pulled up here. At the 2:48 mark, when Daisy's riding that fake horse, you can see the shoulder of the guy on the trailer next to her. Mm-hmm. Because being an actor is kind of hard sometimes. John Schneider sucks at splitting wood because
Yes.
I feel so bad for him. He and Luke are sitting there splitting logs of wood. Wopat goes through his like butter, and John Schneider gets like the blade of the axe and it's just, he in fact picks it up like the log, and it's like, what do I do? It's so hard to do. Also, they might need, maybe they were wearing MeUndies, but if they weren't, they need that support. I'm just saying, there's a lot on screen.
I hadn't noticed.
Well, I didn't either, but I've been told that's what happened. Here. Here are Corn Dog's notes. This is the Corn Dog Insider Car Show Analysis. He says, in the opening scene, this is one of the few times you will see the General Lee with the headlight doors open.
Ooh, I didn't even notice it.
I did notice it. And it's amazing to me how different a Charger looks with the doors open. Like Chargers to me look like a timeless car, but when you put the doors open, all of a sudden they kind of look old. I don't know why I think that, but they just do.
I need to go back. I don't think I ever noticed one with the doors open. I don't even know what it looks like.
It looks weird is what it looked like. I don't know how to describe it. It's like seeing a raccoon without their mask. I mean, it's like seeing Mike Finnegan without a beard.
Nobody needs that.
Which somehow I stumbled on and this was like a no facial hair Mike Finnegan. It was so weird. I was looking at you. You were talking. He sounded like you, but looked nothing like you.
There's footage out there with me and long hair. When my first son, when I learned my wife was pregnant, this was before he was born. As soon as I found out my wife was pregnant, I stopped cutting my hair and grew it for like 13 months.
Why?
And which was not a good look for me. And I had to go and do video pre-roadkill for Hot Rod. And so there's footage out there of me interviewing a guy who's got some rare cars, and then he rebuilds, mechanical injection setups. There's footage of me in his garage interviewing him, and it doesn't even look like me. I don't know if I had the goatee or not, but I had long hair.
The one that I saw, you were wearing a ball cap, and you're working on your El Camino, but no facial hair, like at all. I'd never seen anything like that before. You don't look a thing like you. And that's why the General Lee with its doors open looks weird. Looks weird to me. 12:26 mark. The General Lee jumps the construction site. This footage was reused numerous times throughout the TV series and was even used in the 1997 reunion movie. The landing was soft enough. It wouldn't surprise me if this car was repaired and jumped again. Oh, total side note. Corn Dog is getting his screen used General Lee in shape. He's working hard.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's
watching it.
Pretty sweet. We need to do a whole feature on that. Let's see here. If you look closely at Huey Hogg's Volkswagen, notice that the car is not actually a convertible. It was a standard Beetle with the roof cut off. I think we did catch that one last time.
Yeah, you can tell by the A-pillars.
After Boss Hogg jumps from the tow truck onto the hood of the General Lee, notice that this General Lee was an SE model. It has a wood green dash. And he's right. On the stunt where they crashed 2 police cars in midair, this was one of my favorite stunts throughout the entire series. It took some serious planning to pull off. I messaged Barba about the stunt. He drove the car on the right, and stunt driver Lance Turner drove the other car. He said leading up to the stunt, all of the crew members and other stunt guys were pretty worried about this particular stunt. They hit their marks, their speed and timing were exactly the same, and they pulled off the stunt perfectly. And he sent in some screenshots or some pictures that he has somehow obtained of what the cars look like afterwards. It was freaky. It was super freaky. I think that's the end of it. I give this episode an 8, mostly because of the stunts. Otherwise, the rest of the episode was pretty cheesy. Now, I do have a lot of clips in here, and the reason I was getting stuck in the clips is because it's really hard to pull a short clip in here because all the scenes are like super long setup ones. Mm-hmm. But I did pull this one, and this might be the actual sound of the General Lee. I don't think they have any sound effects in here, so I'm going to play for you the General starting up and driving away, and I think this is real.
Hit it!
That's right.
Yeah, because that's not how they normally dub the sound in. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't sound cool. So
it sounds normal. I'll play
it's probably the real thing.
Probably one more time here.
Hit it!
I think that's the real thing. And then the only other one I'll play for you here in the show is, I don't know. This one made me laugh. I don't know why they chose to go correct this in post-production, but they did.
Dang, we got the tail end wet.
They jumped the car and land the back half of the car in the lake and keep going. And for some reason they thought, we should explain this on camera. Let's have.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Seems odd.
Yeah, because he wouldn't know from in the car that the back of the car landed in the lake.
No. They kept going.
But they roll their car repeatedly. Why do they care that they got the back end of it wet?
Yes. It seems of all the things they've ever done to that car, that's not the worst.
Nah.
But yeah, I'll finish this one and get all the clips in the show notes. But I do like this episode. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7.5 corn dogs because I don't love it. But I don't hate it either.
There you go.
For this dream team, this was not the level of episode I was hoping for.
Nah, could have been better.
The writing crew.
It didn't suck. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Some good jumps in there, but
it did not suck.
It did.
Okay, let's end this show where we started. So your Charger, Mike's 68 race car Charger. What are you going to do?
My K member in 383 should go in it. I mean, it says 383 on the hood, but I was laying in bed last night going, I have that Hemi with the pinhole in number 7 that used to be in Blasphemy, and I still have the stacks for it. Uh-huh. I could weld up all the dents in the heads from when it broke. I could put a sleeve in number 7 and put the Hemi in this thing, and then we could have a Hemi Charger, which is, that's just really cool.
What does it weigh?
The engine or the car?
The whole car right now, because all good.
Well, let's put it this way: the General Mayhem, which was as gutted as you're going to get a Charger, without just drilling holes in it. That thing was still 3,800 pounds when we raced those dudes from that TV show.
You're on TV now, too.
Yeah. Gas Monkey Garage. Sorry. Yeah. I had an honest brain for it. It weighed 3,800 pounds with the Hellcat drivetrain in it. And that's an all aluminum engine. So, I mean, a gutted Charger, you're looking at, heavy, no matter what you do to it. So there's no point in going, don't put a Hemi in it because it's a heavy motor. It's literally just get the car running. Whatever is the easiest way to get it running. So I don't know. I just think it might be kind of cool to pop the hood on a really crappy dirt track car and find a Hemi under the hood.
That would be awesome. There's nothing under the hood that's not going to be cool. I mean,
it'll be fine either way.
It is kind of neat that you already have a K member that would just plug right in there. But will a 383 K member? Can you just put a Hemi in that, or do you have to? I mean, I suppose you're fabbing stuff up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really not a Mopar guy. I don't know about any of this. I've never had a Charger. I've never had a Mopar, so I'm going to be learning,
You and me both.
It's just fun.
I'm so glad this happened.
Me too.
Is just great.
Me too. Hurry up and go get the car.
Yes.
When are you going to? Oh, that's the other thing. When do you want to go get it?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That first full week of March is my best likely week to do this.
Okay, first week of March.
So not the week of February 26th, March 5th, week of March 5th.
Okay.
Somewhere
I
in
could
there.
meet you if it's early in the week. I could meet you like Monday the 5th or Tuesday the 6th.
As long as it's neither of those days, I can do it.
I could meet you Wednesday. Thursday I leave town. So
Let me we'll figure this out off the air here, but there's somewhere in there what'll probably happen is I'll go get it and I'll just bring it back here and hang on to it until we can find a time to meet immediately thereafter.
oh yeah, we could do that because the following week is better for me. The 12th through the 15th I can meet.
Because I'm going to put this car in my garage. If I bring it back here, it's just going to sit next to the minivan. So that's my plan.
Plus, I mean, we should try to meet fans. Let's plan this out.
That would be neat to do.
We actually could like pick Memphis or something and go see the live music, get some drinks, meet some fans, check out a charger.
I could run your autograph line.
You could be the autograph line. Yeah. Nobody shows up.
I promise you. I'm just going to run the front of it. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. You can find this show on Instagram, on all over the interwebs. Finnegan's Garage YouTube channel is also a great place to find it. We're putting out shows pretty regularly there. You can find us on Instagram at Kibbe and Finnegan Show. You can go to the musclecarplace.com to find every show in its native format. And if you want to support the show and you just can't find it in your heart to need anything else, you still need a shirt. kfshowshirts.com is where you go, and there are hoodies there. You can find them. They're kind of hard to get to at the moment. That's not our fault. Mike's on the internet too, it turns out. Where are you?
If you're on Instagram, search for Finnegan999. If you're on Twitter, it's Mike Finnegan999. And on Facebook, Mike.Finnegan/news.
Mike, thanks for everything. Everybody, thank you for listening. We will see you next time.
Later.